Our movie today begins with Sun, who is heading to her first gathering with her new colleagues at work. It's meant to be an introduction session where the manager formally presents everyone. But right then, something embarrassing happens to her. She suddenly runs into her ex-boyfriend, the same one she had broken up with just that very morning. He shows up to reconcile, begging her to take him back. But Sun humiliates him in front of everyone, wiping the floor with his pride, then leaves him behind and walks away. Meanwhile, there's Joy, who lives in a complete mess. Ever since his wife divorced him, his home has turned into a storage pit, filled with sacks of corn everywhere, as if he's running a poultry farm on his balcony. He doesn't even know why he keeps buying corn, except when he's drunk. He wakes up to head to work, checking once more if his ex-wife has read the countless desperate messages he sends her every day. On his way, he bumps into an old-school friend who shows him pictures of his kids. When Joy tells him he's divorced, his friend congratulates him, saying it's the best decision of his life. Now he can stay out late with friends and not worry about buying milk or rushing home. Joy laughs it off and continues to the office. At work, he once again checks his phone to see if his ex replied, but instead, he accidentally stumbles across a heated fight in the parking lot between Sun and Dong. Sun tells Dong she's sick of him and never wants to see his face again. Joy shrugs it off and heads upstairs to focus on work. But when he enters, the manager introduces him to their new team member, none other than Sun. He brings her a stack of the department's last 3 months of projects, explaining that only 4 managed to get the manager's approval. Sun promises to review them in 2 days and give her verdict. Curiosity eats at Joy, and he asks her about her ex-boyfriend, suggesting maybe they should clear up their misunderstandings and get back together. But Sun firmly tells him the man was nothing but a street cat chasing after other women, and there's no hope. Later, during lunch, her female colleagues encourage her, saying she made the right choice. If she gives in to his begging, she'll regret it forever. They describe him as spoiled, babied by his mother, and completely unreliable. That night, Sun stays late at the office, needing help with something. She keeps calling Joy, but he doesn't answer. A colleague tells her he's probably at a bar, drunk as usual, and that if he does pick up, he'll just talk nonsense. It's better not to take anything he says seriously. So Sun packs up and goes home, only to find her apartment turned upside down like a garbage dump. Checking the security cameras, she discovers Dong was the one who trashed her place. Furious, she calls him, demanding an explanation. He dismisses her, saying, "What do you want me to do? Apologize." She insists he admit what he did and apologize before she reports him to the police. But he arrogantly suggests maybe it wasn't him, alone, sneaking into her apartment, hinting that other men might be doing the same. Enraged, Sun humiliates him again, calling him a worthless man and regretting she ever knew someone like him. The next morning, Joy wakes up hungover, his head pounding. His apartment is filled with pigeons and cats, like a zoo. He chases the animals, but one cat slips into a forbidden room, and he decides to leave it alone. At work, he brings a bag of corn for his colleagues, declaring he's decided to quit drinking for good. They burst out laughing, knowing drinking is his whole life. Later, he notices a mysterious number had called him the previous night for 2 hours, though he remembers nothing. His nosy friend suggests saving the number to see the WhatsApp profile, but accidentally calls it instead. To Joy's shock, it's Sun's number. He panics, unable to remember what he said while drunk. His friend jokes, "What if you told her about your ex-wife? That'd be a disaster." Joy waits nervously at the office for Sun to return from a business trip. When she finally arrives, he's about to ask her when Yang barges in, crying because his girlfriend cheated on him with a high schooler. Joy mocks him, asking if he's upset because she cheated or because it was with a teenager. Yang cries that it's because the guy was underage and storms off to break up with her. Joy reassures him half-heartedly, but outside, Yang picks a fight with a random woman who ends up beating him and dragging him to the police station. Joy smooths things over, pretending Yang is mentally unstable. Later, when Joy finally speaks to Sun, he admits he didn't even know they had spoken until he saw his phone logs that morning. She reassures him he hadn't said anything embarrassing, just cried the whole time. Embarrassed, he asks why she didn't hang up, and she replies, "Because you said no one cares about you, and I felt bad." Afterward, he retorts that she clearly doesn't know what real love feels like, accusing her of playing with men's feelings. Their banter continues as they both drink bottle after bottle until they're blackout drunk. Sun even forgets her way home, so her friend rescues her and takes her back. The next morning, neither remembers a thing. Joy is sipping tea when Yang comes in dancing happily, saying he got back with his girlfriend on the condition he quit smoking. Joy scoffs, "She cheated on you, and now she's making demands?" Their boss kicks them out of the office for smoking. Outside, Joy finds himself alone with Sun, and she asks nervously if anything happened between them last night. He shrugs, claiming he was too drunk to remember, then deliberately avoids being near her at work. But to his horror, the company assigns them together on a commercial shoot. Sun performs her duties perfectly, but Joy can't stand her. Afterward, he treats the whole team to dinner, and everyone pressures Sun to share about her past relationship. She shocks them by saying she was engaged to a lighting director who committed suicide. By the end of the night, one colleague flirts with her, but she changes the subject, joking about project budgets. They laugh, saying Joy is always footing the bill even though he's not rich, and praising him as a true man. That night, Joy drunkenly messages Sun, but he insists he's sober and wants to tell her something important. Curious, she meets him, only to find him drunk again. Frustrated, she tells him he's always intoxicated, never clear-headed. He confesses he prefers being unconscious rather than alone with his thoughts. Then, out of nowhere, he blurts out that he spent his life savings, even took a loan against his house, just to give his ex everything she wanted and marry her. But after all that, she betrayed him, cheating right in his own home. Sun feels sorry for him, but before she can respond, he drunkenly asks if that means she loves him. He stumbles after her, rolling on the ground, as she escapes. The next day, the team brainstorms new ad ideas. Joy is absent, having broken his arm in a fall. Later, he shows up at the office with a cast, apologizing to Sun for the previous night and saying he's learned his lesson. They go out to eat, but quickly start arguing again. Joy criticizes her clothes for attracting men's stares, while she insists she dresses for herself, not men. He accuses her of refusing marriage because she still can't forget her dead fiancé. She finally admits she lied about that. She just wanted people to stop asking her questions. Their fight escalates into insults, each mocking the other's flaws, until they part ways angrily. Joy ends up sleeping in the elevator that night. Soon after, the company organizes a team safari trip. On the hike, Sun gets tired, and Joy supports her as they climb. She confesses that her past relationship story was half true. She really was engaged to a lighting director, but one day he disappeared without a trace. She tried contacting him for months, sending endless calls and texts, but he never responded. A friend advised her to stop, saying he'd come crawling back within 3 months. And he did, begging for her attention after 1 month, but she ignored him, wondering occasionally if he got married or why he vanished in the first place. That night, the team drinks heavily again. Their boss gets a call from his wife, and for once, he stands up to her, yelling that he's not a child to be interrogated. But then she tells him their son is very sick, and he rushes off, leaving his card for them to continue the trip. The next day, Joy is stunned to finally receive a message from his ex-wife after weeks of silence. At the same time, Dong texts Sun, but she immediately blocks him. She calls Joy to meet, but a woman answers his phone, his co-worker Jung, who is clearly trying to worm her way back into his life. Joy avoids her, focusing instead on cleaning his apartment and telling her firmly that their relationship ended long ago. Soon, Joy is tasked with filming a new children's iPad commercial. Mid-shoot, his manager calls demanding fresh ad ideas. Frustrated, Joy rants about the stupidity of everyone else, unaware the manager has him on speakerphone for the entire staff to hear. Humiliated, Joy angrily demands a finished script within 2 days. Meanwhile, false rumors suddenly spread at work about Sun, accusing her of scandals that never happened. The stress forces her to resign. When Joy confronts the manager, he insists she left voluntarily. Joy visits Sun, and she explains the rumors were spread by a married director she once dated who deceived her. When the affair was exposed, she was blamed as the homewrecker. Worse, he later spread false news about her everywhere. Joy scolds her for not fighting back legally, saying she should have sued him instead of staying silent. At the manager's next party, Sun shows up dressed to perfection, shocking everyone with insider information she exposes in front of them all. The team turns against each other, arguing and fighting, while Sun leaves calmly, having reclaimed her dignity. 3 months later, Joy prepares to move out of his apartment, finally ready to leave behind his memories. But ironically, Sun's bold actions had brought them closer. They both now know each other's flaws and secrets, with nothing left hidden. One night, after buying roasted corn from a poor woman on the street, Joy rushes to meet Sun when she calls. When he arrives, she simply tells him she missed him. It's clear they're about to begin a new chapter together. And that's where the film ends. If you made it to the end, don't forget to like the video. Leave us a nice comment as you always do. And if this is your first time here, subscribe to the channel to catch all upcoming recaps. Goodbye.